Hey there, welcome to the second episode of The Basics of Advanced Techniques. This new episode is going to go over fixed movement. Fixed movement is very important in Ocarina of Time. It is a big part of what makes OT be OT because you have such a big array of fixed movement that it is possible to set up very precise position in a reliable way. So you will encounter a large amount of setups on your way to learning Ocarina of Time, and understanding early what are your tools to fix movement is going to make it easier for you to identify what you are watching in order to reproduce it faster and better. So let's go on with it. First of all, I want to say that I have three variables right here, which is X, Y, and Z. If you're not familiar with what X, Y, and Z are, they're coordinates. They tell you where Link is. So basically, X is going to be right, left. Then Y is going to be up and down. And then Z is going to be forward and backward. Okay, now let's explore the very basic of the movement that are available to Link. One of the most noticeable movement are going to be side hops. So side hops, you have to target, press right or left and A. Side hops are fixed, so as you can see, if I side hop right then left, I am back to the exact same position. And it's going to be the same for backflip. Backflips are just you press target down plus A. So backflips are the exact same and they get you back to the same position. So those are two very important ways to move around and start setting up position. You have more things that go around it. For example, if you're targeted and you press A, you do a roll, and you do a roll without touching your analog stick, which we call a dry roll. A dry roll is also fixed movement. It will always put you at the same position at the end of it. Now, if you do a dry roll after you're done a side hop, you're going to do what we call a side roll. So you have a side roll to the right and also a side roll to the left. If you turn around and do the same side up side roll, you're back to the exact same position. So that's again fixed movement. You have the same kind of idea, but it's a different roll if you do a backflip beforehand. So I'm gonna call that a down roll. I think that's the way it's called. So same thing, you have a down roll. Down roll can go right or left depending on camera. You can manipulate that by inputting like ESS down left if you want to force it to the left, but that's a little bit off topic. Setups will set up your camera, it will set up your angle. So your down roll will go the way that it's supposed to go. If it doesn't go the right direction, then you probably did something wrong or you did it at a wrong position. Okay, now that we're done watching all of the dry roll options, we're going to see rolls that are not dry. So what does it mean? It means that rolls are going to go differently if you hold a direction during it. You have to know that if you hold right or left during a roll, it will not turn. Rolls are always going forward in a straight line. I'm talking about dry roll, not side rolls. So the line that the roll is going to is not going to change depending on what you hold on the analog stick. And that's very important. We're going to talk about it later. So there is something that we call full rolls. You have different ways to do full rolls. You could press up and A on the same frame, and then if you don't have target, you can hold R and up so that you actually stop at the very end. But holding up and A is not really convenient to do. It can fail. I mean, it's sort of frame perfect. So an easier technique to do that is you hold shield so that Link crouches. When Link crouches, doesn't matter what you hold, he will not move. You hold up, and then you press target and quickly A, very quickly. And then you release both of them. So that's a full roll. Full rolls are very important. They work with side hops. So this is a full side roll. I've never heard of that being mentioned, but let's just call it like that. It will also work for down rolls. So this is a way to be holding a direction during the entire span of time of the roll, and it will just push Link to its maximum distance. So as I was saying, there is no way to go right and left during the rolls, but this is something that would happen if you would go in the air right after. So let's explore an example of that. So let's say I'm always starting here, and then I do a full roll. If I hold forward, then Link will just go forward, but if I hold upright, then the full roll will be exactly the same, but then as soon as I start being in the air, then Link will go upright because he will be influenced by my joystick position. This is very important, for example, for what is usually called glitchless jump. You have an example in Sacred Forest Meadow. You have an example in Fire Temple, and you have many other places that those are done. And using this at your advantage is going to make your life a lot easier than if you had to press up and A and then quickly switch to up right or up left, which you know, is obviously more easy to fail. Okay, so we are done seeing what happens with rolls, side hops, backflips. It's very important. It's very used. So this is a good thing to be done with. Now, let's see different kinds of movement, which is a much smaller movement that you will see in many setups, and it's not always easy to identify what happens. It is movement that are done with slashes. So slashes have a particularity that we could say that they move in there's three different segments of moves during slashes. So I don't have sword in hand, so Link will go reach to his sword, and then on most slashes, I've found like 2 instances of it not being the case, but the first thing that Link is going to do at the start of the animation of the slash is move backward. You see how he's moving backward? So I just grabbed the edge and pulled up. So I'm pretty much on the edge. Like, I'm not as close as I could get to the edge, but I'm fairly close to the edge. And at the start of the slash, Link is moving backward. So what is going to happen is that he will keep going backward on next frame, and he'll just fall off. Okay, so this is going to happen on most slashes. Your slashes options are diverse. You have, if you hold nothing and press B, you will do a horizontal slash. You can do the same slash by holding target and pressing left and B. It's the exact same slash. If you see a setup that uses this one, you can do it both ways. Both will work. Now, if you hold target and press B, you will do a vertical slash. Vertical slash is not the same if you hold target than if you don't hold target. If you don't hold target, it goes lower. So it's nice if you want to slash something that's on the ground, for example, a tree. If you press right and B, then you will do that side slash. You could also press up and B while targeted, and you will do that forward slash. You also have quick spins, I guess, and those are the main option. I think I did not forget any slash option. So all these slashes will mostly start by going backward and make you fall off of any edge. So that's horizontal slash, you just fall off. Vertical slash, you will fall off. One that will not make you fall off is the side slash. So right plus B while targeting. You see how like he does not fall off. And then I managed to do quick spins and not fall off. So I guess that's another option. Slashes can be used in position setup, which is what we are interested in, because they move you also in a slight amount. So let's go back to watching what our slashes do. So let's do a horizontal slash. Link starts moving backward a little bit, and then you see how he's going forward and a little bit to the left. And now that the slash is done, Link will get back into position, which means he's going to slightly go backward. So that's why I was saying there's 3 segments into a slash. You start the slash by going a little bit backward, then you do a movement. Horizontal slash is forward and left. Others are other things. But horizontal slash is forward and left. And then once it's done, it's going to go a little bit backward. So there's a way that you can cancel that by during the slash, you hold shield, such as this. You don't necessarily need to crouch to cancel this. It's the same if you cancel with a shield while holding target, so that Link stays stand up. This is very important. When you see a setup and you see slashes, you need to identify, and usually what you do is you're going to rewatch and be like, is this interrupted or not? And some setups you're going to have to do 2 non-interrupted slashes, and then the third one is interrupted. I'm thinking about something in Shadow Temple. So it's very important to identify, do you need to interrupt the slash? Do you need to not interrupt the slash? That's very important. Something else that we haven't talked about yet, but expresses very well the idea of having those 2 sequences that you can interrupt the last one, is the jump slash. We haven't talked about the jump slash. I was wondering if I forget something. The jump slash, you see very well that at the end of the jump slash, Link is going backward, and you can cancel that by holding shield, standing or not, so you will not go backward. So when you see a jump slash in a setup, you need to worry, is it interrupted or not? And that is very important. Another thing about jump slashes is that holding a joystick direction will influence how far your jump slash goes, pretty much the same as with rolls. One very singular thing is that whatever the direction you are holding, it will always just influence it forward and the same amount. If you jump slash holding down, it does the same thing as if you jump slash holding left, right, or forward. Using shield is not the only way you can interrupt slashes. You can interrupt slashes with moving. You can interrupt slashes with side hops. You will see that in West Escape, in Aqua Escape, in Lost Woods. So you slash and you immediately side hop. This is the idea of interrupting the slash to not get the last part of it. So those are tiny things that beginners usually don't see very fast and need to be corrected later on. So I hope you save that little amount of time by understanding all of these mechanics. Last but not least, there's something else about slashes. I'm not going to be talking too long about it, but the idea seems to be, I'm not very knowledgeable about this, but during the slash, there is something that makes it that Link does not want to fall off the edge. I think it is that when you have a hitbox out and active, you're not supposed to fall off the edge. This is why ISG makes you not fall off edges. So for example, I'm here on this edge. I'm not as far forward as I could be, even though I just climbed it. But let's say I'm gonna use horizontal slashes to go forward and left. So, and then I'm going to interrupt them to not get the backward momentum of them. So I'm doing 1, and then I'm doing 2, and 3. And sometimes when you do such things, so he ended up falling, probably because there was no hitbox. That's my guess. So first of all, you see that when you climb, you're not at the very edge. And second of all, you have instances where you will sort of get pushed back by the fact that the edge does not want you to fall off. This has to be confirmed, but using more slashes will not always make you closer to the edge. And you have that kind of like wall interaction with the edge while your hitboxes are out. Don't quote me too much on that, but this is the general idea that you want to get in case you're willing to, you know, build your own setups or such things. Okay, I think we're done for this second video. This is very important to understand the setups. Setups are a big part of Ocarina of Time. I said it earlier. They make this game quite comfortable if you like consistency, because you know your position can be set up such reliably. You always have to remember that lengthy setups are slow, and some of you might want to use those for speedrunning. So of course sometimes YOLOing your position is better and it's cooler. It's two different things. That's going to be your choice to evolve with, and I hope you have fun with that, and I see you in the next episode. Ciao ciao.